Hello, welcome. Yellow Submarine John Lennon says hello. That was really bad. I can actually do a pretty good Liverpudlian accent. I don't know why that one came out wrong. And I've actually been watching so much Beatles stuff lately for my Beatles class that you'd think I could do John by now. Just sound generically Liverpudlian. Anyway, peace. What's up? Um, I was thinking while I was watching sumo the other day that there are a few major sumo figures. Chiyono Fuji is one of them. He attained the highest rank, was like the master of the sport, a rank called Yokozuna for about 10 years, all throughout the decade of the 1980s. And he's looked upon as like, this kind of god of sumo. Oh, they're playing the music. That means we have to leave soon. I'll let it just drift across the background. Hopefully it'll go away in a minute. Um, anyway, wow, it's really loud. Maybe I can turn it down. Hold on a sec. See, I'm working so late. But I wanted to get this filmed really quick. So Chiyono Fuji, he's only 58, but just in my brain I went, if he passed away for some reason, that would be a major, like, Japanese funeral. Like, that would be a major media thing. Everybody would talk about it. Now, kids nowadays who are 20, say, and they were born in around 1990, or later, 1993, gosh, probably don't know him that well and stuff, but they've heard about him. I mean, he's very, very famous. I'm trying to think who I can equate him to. Michael Jordan, maybe, or Nolan Ryan, or I can't even think of people. Pele, maybe, in soccer. Anyway, and so that got me to thinking last night when I was sitting in my house watching this documentary about Miyazaki Hayao, the creator of a lot of the Ghibli movies, that really, when he passes away, that's going to be like a major day of mourning in Japan. And I don't know why I was thinking about this morbid kick about passing away, but I was just thinking, I can't think of anyone more universally well-liked and revered in Japan, perhaps, than Mr. Miyazaki, the director of some of these movies. And it occurred to me that you're at a disadvantage as a Jet if you come over to be an ALT and you're not familiar with the works, the Ghibli Studio films. So this is my sort of like, hey, it's an interesting question I'm going to ask, and B, kind of my advice. The question, I guess, is who in your country, even if you're American, because I'm American too, but who in your country do you think, if they passed away, say, in the next 5 or 10 years, would it be major deal in your country? I mean, I guess in the entertainment field, you would have to compare Mr. Miyazaki to Steven Spielberg, perhaps, or Nick Park. But even Nick Park, as amazing as Wallace and Gromit and Aardman stuff is, I can't say that he's on the same level. No current animator. I mean, John Lasseter and some of the Pixar guys are definitely major figures, but none of them have been, solely responsible for some of the look and feel and just such huge movies like Mr. Miyazaki. So yeah, I don't know. Who in your country do you think, if, it doesn't have to be somebody in the media. It could be a sports figure. It could be a political figure. I just can't think of anybody. I mean, I was a little taken aback by how batshit people went when Steve Jobs passed away. But I mean, I understand it. I'm an Apple geek. But I mean, that was a major deal. And, the reflection of people, like how much he had changed their lives. And I think when Mr. Miyazaki passes away in Japan, people will get so nostalgic. So basically what I'm going to recommend is, if you have some free time, if you're waiting to find out if you got on Jet or something, go on Netflix, go to Amazon, whatever it is, and rent or buy or acquire some of his films and watch them. Because there is no quicker way to chat with your students than just to say, what's your favorite Ghibli movie? Ghibli no eiga wa suki desu ka? Do you like Ghibli movies? Hi, you're always going to get a yes. Oh, dochiro no ichiban suki desu ka? Which one do you like the best? Something like that, and you'll start a conversation, and you need to be able to know what they're saying in response. You don't have to see all of them. I haven't even seen all of them. The great thing about the Ghibli movies here in Japan is even if you rent them here in Japan, they always have English subtitles. They never will at the movie theater. So like his brand newest movie, Kaze Tachi Nu, The Wind Rises, I haven't seen yet. Because I won't pay $18 to go sit in a theater and get most of the dialogue. You know, it still just goes too fast for me. So I wait for DVD. But I brought up his Wikipedia page. He's only 72, by the way. He's not that old, and he smokes a lot. This documentary last night was very, very interesting. He really does, I mean, sits down at this little desk amongst all the other workers in his office, and he draws on paper, not with a computer, but with a pen, and he paints in the colors he likes. I can't think of anyone to compare him to. And of course, he doesn't always direct the films. He sometimes produces them or helps write the script, as he did with Up on Poppy Hill, which is one of my favorite recent Ghibli Studio films. So basically, he started out with a movie called Castle of Cagliostro, which was based on a manga and anime that he had helped create. You know, it's good, it's fun, it was groundbreaking at the time, but it's from 1979. I wouldn't say you have to see it. I've never heard a kid say that's their favorite. But I'm sure a few older people probably like it a lot. Then comes Nashka in 1984. That one you do get here, you know, a lot of people talk about that one. Then Castle in the Sky. Then the one that so many students, you know, especially young students, but even Daigakse will cite, which is Tonari no Totoro, you know, My Neighbor Totoro. Delightful, delightful film. One of my favorites too. The next one is Kiki's Delivery Service. Then one that I don't think really made it over to America that much. I don't know if Fox and Disney and different people have the rights to the films. Porco Rosso, the Red Pig. Interesting, but not a lot of kids pick that one either. Then Mononoke Hime, which is Princess Mononoke, which even took part in a part of Shimane when I used to live. Great, great movie, environmental message. A lot of kids really love that one. And then, of course, the big one that you probably have seen. I can't imagine that many of you that follow my channel are interested in Japan haven't seen this movie. But if you haven't, by God, run out and see it. It's called Spirited Away. And there's a very long Japanese title, but all you have to say in Japanese is Sento Chihiro. And the kids are, Sento Chihiro suki desu ka? And I'll be like, yeah, I really like that movie. And they're like, oh, I love that movie too. So it really is just an instant passport as a way to be able to talk to your kids. Because so many times if you try to talk to your kids and they like a TV show or a singer or anything else that's sort of popular culture, you're not going to know what it is, and you'll never know. You didn't grow up in Japan. I mean, it's really hard. I mean, sometimes you'll know the pop groups and stuff. And of course, if you're a geek and you really like Pokemon or anime or something, you can maybe talk about that. But the Studio Ghibli films are easy to watch. They're self-contained. They're 2 hours. And it really does give you a passport into what they like and an easy way to start a conversation. Then more recently, Howl's Moving Castle. I didn't like that one so much. He didn't think of that idea. That was based on a book. Ponyo, which is cute, but it's really for kids. It's so for little kids. And then The Wind Rises. So there's a bunch in there that aren't included. Like one of my favorites is called Whispers of the Heart. And he produced it or something. Somebody else directed it, but it's great. So not all of the Ghibli movies are by Miyazaki-san. But he's just a towering figure, and I just can't imagine. He said he's recently, another thing that prompted this, he said he's retiring. He's not going to make any more movies as a director. He's not going to work daily, animating. He's only going to just stand back and produce. His son is active in the studio, so he helps him sometimes too. All right, so there's my recommendation. Go out and see some Ghibli movies. I'm sure you have. If you have, leave a comment. What's your favorite one? Which one do you recommend that people see? And if you have a person in your country that you think would cause a reaction the same as the passing of Miyazaki-san, then let me know, because I'd be interested to know from other countries, and America too. Okay, peace. Thanks for watching, guys. Finally going home. See you soon.